Microphone check 1 2 1 2. In the place to be, it's your boy NetworkBruh. You know what it is. You are now tuned into the network, the YouTube channel that takes complex networking topics, dumbs it down to a more simpler language, and also looks for the Fat Finger Squad to help them out. Because today we are working with EtherChannels, port channels. We're going to be working with layer 3 EtherChannels. I know we've done EtherChannels on this channel before. EtherChannels on this channel. But now we're going to be working with layer 3. So basically adding an IP address to it. So same thing, except we're going to add an IP address to it. What else are we going to do today? It says here on a multi-layer switch, EtherChannel. Creed9 says, am I going to sell my hardware now? Good question, man. Hell no. Man, you know how much hardware I done amassed here? Just collected a whole bunch of hardware, man. There are some devices I do want to get rid of, though. I got some older 2821 routers that I haven't even used. Because so far, for the CCNP book, I've noticed the minimum we'll need is like 4 routers and maybe 5 switches. I mean, six routers and 4 switches. No more than that. So, and I've got like a bunch of stuff. So, get on the mic. Okay, good. You would think episode 92, I would have gotten it right by now, right? But it looks like I have. Y'all can hear me and y'all can see me. So that's a good look. Go ahead and drag and drop 4 switches just like this. 2 distribution layer switches, 2 access layer switches, cable them up back to back just like this right here. So 1 cable going that way, 1 cable going that way, 1, 2, and then 2 cables going this way. I'll give y'all some time to do that. If you're using GNS3 or even G, I am going to be using hardware, Creed9. He said I had to rewatch last night's stream. It worked me yesterday. I guess you mean you got tired from work? I don't know. Let me know. But y'all remember my like button. We typically stream, in case this is the first time you see me live stream. We typically stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've been using different sources for the Encore exam. I don't have to take the Encore exam, believe it or not, right? Like, why the hell is this guy studying for an exam that he ain't got to take, right? Well, my CCNP, or not CCNP, but my CCNA does not expire until 2023 because, when COVID happened, they gave everybody like a 6-month extension. And on top of that, I took subsequent exams. So I took the route exam, I took the switch exam. Then they switched it all up February of last year, I think it was. Yeah, February of last year. And then they gave me a little badge. It was like, okay, we're extending everybody for 6 months. And you got to take an elective exam now. So the elective exam I chose was Advanced Routing and Switching, also known as the NRC exam. And then that's all I got to take. But they introduced a lot of new topics in the Encore exam. So that's why I'm going back to the fundamentals. It's not really fundamentals because this is a deep subject right here. Port channels, they're sort of easy and stuff like that. What else are we going to do? I think we're going to do a little bit of, we'll do one routing protocol of our choice on this lab. And also, we got to do a VACL. It says security on here, but I'm not too familiar with VACLs. I know they're similar to route maps. So I may need a little bit of help from y'all with this one. So just giving y'all some time to cable up. Let me know if you got even G powered up. Again, this is lab 4 from the book 101 Labs, Cisco CCNP book. You can get a copy of it from 101labs.net or, well, there isn't a link in my box yet. I'll do that later on. But if you just go to Amazon and just type in 101 Labs CCNP, you'll see this book that we're using, and that's where we're getting this lab from. So it's a pretty good book. Y'all know I went through the whole CCNA book on my channel. That's why we got like 90 something episodes, and about 80, 90 of them was from the CCNA book. So while y'all getting cabled up, I'm gonna look for some. Let's see what we got on our agenda today. World. Y'all know the Haitian president got assassinated. That's crazy, man. They in case y'all don't know, I'm of Haitian descent, so I've been keeping an eye on that. And yeah, I've just been fascinated with. I wasn't fascinated with like the JFK murders and stuff like that, or assassination, but this I'm just like really intrigued. You know how they did it and stuff like that. It's just complex, man. But you know, condolences to him and his family and stuff like that, and obviously the people of Haiti, man, because now they got to try to figure out who's gonna be in charge of the country and things like that. So crazy. I was gonna come up with some. Y'all let me know when y'all are labeled up and cabled up. It's gonna look for some other current events that's going on in the IT industry. And my thing is just taking forever. Let's see, personal. I had them here, and I ain't got them no more. I had them here, but it's all good. Fuck it. All right, y'all ready to go? Y'all ready to get to labbing? 4 switches again, right? 2 distribution layer switches and 2 access layer switches. I hope you guys are cabled up. I gave y'all what, 9 minutes to cable up. So task number 1, focus of this lab is for us to understand how to implement and verify MLS. What is MLS? Is that multi-layer switch? I don't know what the hell they mean by that. Y'all let me know. But it says verified MLS, routed ether channels, which is the same thing as what we were doing with ether channels before, but except now we're making them routed, meaning layer 3, and basically add an IP address to it. So, as well as some different iOS Catalyst series switch security features. Task 1, disable VTP on all switches. All switches should support the configuration, modification, and deletion of all VLANs. We did this on a couple streams before, right? Y'all know what VTP is, right? VLAN trunking protocol. They just wanted us to turn that off. Now there's 4 features again, right? There's client mode, server mode, transparent mode, and off. We can do either off or transparent. I believe in a solution, they put transparent, so we'll go with that. Transparent means if you create a VLAN on here, right, for example, and let's say you created VLAN 500, right? It stays locally within this guy right here. He won't tell anybody else about VLAN 500. It'll stay within him. He can have a VLAN 500 as well, but it'll stay locally within him if he's also in transparent mode. Now, if we made him a server and the rest of these guys clients, as soon as and they're all in the same domain, as soon as he make 500, right? As soon as he make VLAN 500, he will propagate those guys to all of these. Well, they want us to turn that feature off, right? So, let's go to, so for me, switch 1 is DLS1. Switch 2 is DLS2, and so on and so forth, right? That's ALS1 right there, and ALS2 right there, right? So, I'll have to go ahead and do the host names and do that. That's another reason why I like Boson NetSim. All of this stuff would have been preloaded for us. If we want to go straight to the port channel stuff, and straight to the, straight to the ether channel stuff, straight to the VACLs and all of that, we ain't got to worry about all this homework right here. That's what I like about Boson NetSim, and that's why I've been using it for the past couple streams. Somebody made a request and said, please, let's go back to that 101 book, man. So we're going ahead and do that, right? So y'all know how to do the host names, right? He's going to be DLS1, right? And the next guy is DLS2. Global config mode, host name, he is DLS2, right? And that's the thing about, having to use hardware. You got to do all of this stuff over again, and I could have just saved it and go straight to what we wanted to do, right? But y'all know how much I love hardware, man. And no, Creed 9 trying to get my equipment over here, trying to get me to sell it over here. What's wrong with you, man? ALS1, and the last guy is finally ALS2, right? Take your terminal, host name, ALS2, right? And then they said they wanted to change the VTP mode, turn it off, right? So we got 6 tasks today. We're on task 1 right now, right? We just started, right? So show VTP status. Let's see what it is. Out the box, they come in server mode, right? We need to change that to transparent mode. VTP mode transparent. Now, that's the tricky thing about this. He said to disable VTP. Now, you could do, again, VTP mode right here, off. This turns off VTP. But in the solution guide, yes, I did take a peek at it already. He put it on transparent mode. So, essentially, transparent mode is, in a way, turning off VTP as well. So, that's the tricky thing about that one. But I'm going to go with transparent just because he put transparent mode, right? Again, transparent mode means VLANs are created on him, and they are locally significant. They won't be passed on and stuff like that. You can create, modify, and delete them, VLANs, but they won't be passed on to other switches and stuff. As a matter of fact, VLAN information will pass through you. That's why they call it transparent mode. Food for thought. You do the dishes. So now it's in transparent mode. Let's do the same thing for the rest of these other guys, right? What kind of day I had today at work, man? I had a pretty decent day, man. Did some cabling, man. Yes, some cable management. I want to show y'all the before and after, man. I want to show y'all the before and after. Ugly closet, man. I just started unplugging shit and just moving VLANs and now it looks a little bit better, man. It's still kind of a hot mess, but it looks way better than it did before. So, not host name. What am I doing? VTP mode. He's transparent. And let's see. He's already in transparent. He's in transparent. And he's in transparent. Okay, good. So they all in VTP mode transparent. Let's verify our work though, right? This one was already in transparent. So VTP mode, show VTP status rather, so we can see. And right now it is in transparent mode, right? They didn't say nothing about putting in a specific domain or anything, so we should be good to go there. Task 2, we only got 6 tasks today, right? But remember, all of these tasks, they have like all these subtasks within them. So task 2, configure the following VLANs on the switches. On DLS1 and ALS1. This guy and this guy. He said create VLANs 100 on those two guys. VLAN 100 over here. On these two guys right there, right? And then he said on DLS2 and ALS2, so this guy right here and this guy right here, they said put that in VLAN 200. That's an ugly 2. 200. So those guys, VLAN 200, VLAN 100 on the other side. Y'all go ahead and do that. I'm pretty sure y'all know how to do that. If not, then just follow along, right? Easy stuff here, right? Go to DLS1, and he said to configure those VLANs on that switch, right? So go to global config mode. We said VLAN 100. They didn't say to name it or anything like that, so we'll just leave that as is. Show VLAN brief. That's VLAN 100. There it is right there. They didn't say to name it or anything. I'm going to go to ALS1 and do VLAN 100 there. VLAN 100. And then DLS2 is VLAN 200. And the other guy, this guy right here, ALS2, VLAN 200. Right? Y'all with me so far? Y'all have any questions or anything? Show VLAN brief just to verify our work. Y'all run me my like buttons. Run me with my likes. Make sure y'all subscribe. We typically stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We might do a little short lab tomorrow though, because got some stuff to do. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh on y'all. Let me see. Y'all just quiet tonight? Okay. Y'all just quiet tonight. It's all good. All right. So we did the VLANs, right? What else they want us to do? They said configure the following SVIs on the switches. Y'all know what SVI is, right? Switched virtual interface. So it's basically it's taking a VLAN but making it routed in a way, right? So what they want us to do is create an interface, but it's going to be layer 3, right? In VLAN 100, if that makes any sense, right? So what they said was on DLS1, they want SVI 100 with the IP address of 10.111/30, right? So I'm going to go ahead and start off with this guy and do this one at a time so y'all don't get too confused and stuff, right? So, an SVI, how do we do that? We do interface VLAN and then whatever it is, right? So in this case, it's VLAN, 100, right? Let's keep the colors intact here, right? 100. So go to global config mode, interface VLAN 100. Give him the IP address of, they said 10.111/30. 10.1.1.1/30 is written out as 255.255.252, right? Let's show our work with show IP interface brief and then exclude the unassigned so we can filter it down to just that. And we'll see, there it is right there, right? VLAN 100, 10.111, and it's up down so far because we don't have a port in VLAN 100 just yet. So that's why it's up down. Do the same thing on ALS1. ALS1, he's going to be 10.112. So just to show y'all, in case y'all ain't got the book, right? This network right here, this network is going to be the I'm sorry, 100. Let's do this. Erase that. This is the 100.1.1.0 network. This right here, right? And you can probably guess what this network is going to be, right? This is the 200 dot, what is it? 1.1.0? Yeah, 1.1.0 network. Make sure. Yes, it is, right? And then he's gonna be dot one. We're gonna create an SVI on there. This guy's gonna be dot one, and this guy is gonna be dot two. Same thing with this guy. He's dot one and he's dot two. Dot and dot. Right? I hope I'm making this clear for y'all. Y'all let me know if y'all confused or anything like that. Creed 9 said transparent. VTP transparent switches receive and forward VTP advertisement, but do not modify the local VLAN's database. Interesting. VLANs are configured only locally. Encore page 94. Okay, good. Bruh, definition sounds better. Yes, exactly, man. Thank you, man. Y'all know I try to like break things down just for y'all to, understand it better. But yes, that is the technical definition from page 94 in the Encore book. So yes, appreciate that, Creed 9. Let's go ahead and create the SVI on, who did we do it on? We did it on this guy. Let's go ahead and do this guy's SVI is dot two, right? So we go to global config mode on ALS1. And we said interface VLAN 100, his IP address is 10.1. I'm sorry, 100. Did I do 10 on the other side? Let's see. I need to fix that. That needs to be 100. I need to fix that. Fat Finger Squad in the building. That needs to be 100. I hope y'all caught that, man. I hope y'all caught that. Unless y'all just waiting for me to fuck up and be like, man, this guy, man, I ain't watching this channel, man. Unsubscribe. Bloop. 10.1.1. He is dot two. Subnet mask of /30, and we need to fix the other guy, right? 252, right? Verify our work, show IP interface brief, exclude unassigned. I need to turn off logging synchronous on the other guy. He's 100.1.1.2. This guy needed to be 100.1.1.1. So let's fix that. I would have been pinging across and wondering why the shit didn't work. Interface VLAN 100. His IP address is 100. Almost did it again. 100.1.1.1. Subnet mask of 255.255.255.0, not .0, .252. Damn, I just keep making mistakes here. What's wrong with me? Show IP interface. Let's do this. What was Pete's favorite command? It was show. Jesus, what was it? Show IP interface protocol. Show IP protocols. Show IP interface. No, show IP protocols. That wasn't protocols. What was it, man? Show IP interface. Let's just do brief, man. Fuck it. I forgot what it was that we used to see. The protocols. What was it? Show IP. Let's see. What was it? Let me see. I'm gonna need to remember that. It wasn't IP interface protocols. So IP protocols. Not summary. Jesus, what was it? I can't remember what that command was. And that was one of our favorite commands. Oh, well, fuck it. All right, so we did .2 on this guy. We did .1 on this guy. Now we need to do .1 over here and .2 over here for the 200.1.0 network, right? Let's erase all this shit. Look like my daughter's handwriting over here. And I need to do that over again because I went too far. This is why I need a whiteboard, like Buddy said. Control N. No. Taste. Microsoft Whiteboard, man. Holla at me. Okay, we good to go. So we needed to do the 200 side right here, right? He's .1 and he's .2, right? 200 network, 200.1.1.0 network, if you want to be precise, right? 200.1.1.0 network, right? So, let's go to, where is he at? DLS1 or DLS2. Global config mode. He is interface VLAN 200. Y'all with me so far? Y'all let me know if I'm losing y'all or whatever, if I'm making it too confusing or whatever. But we're creating SVIs right now to point to each other, right? So this guy is going to be pointing that way, and then that guy's going to be pointing that way, and they have their IP addresses and whatever. We're just creating SVIs right now. So His IP address was, we said 200.1.1/30 subnet 252, right? So there's only 2 hosts there, right? Let's show our work. Show IP interface brief, exclude unassigned. What we got? 200.1.1.1, and then the other guy's gonna be .2, right? This guy's gonna be .2 over here. So go to ALS2 right here. Global config mode, interface VLAN 200. His IP address is 200.1.1.2/30 subnet 252. Show our work. Show IP interface brief, exclude unassigned. Now, we got all this other stuff, man. That's what I needed to do, man. What the hell's wrong with me? Y'all listen, man. Okay, let's do this. That must have been from, what was that from? That must have been from some LiveLabs or something. Yeah, that might have been some labs for from a long time ago. Let me get rid of that. No interface VLAN 10 and no interface VLAN 20. Get rid of that. I hope I ain't got that on the other side either. And then show IP interface brief, exclude unassigned. That's the other thing about labbing with hardware, man. It keeps all of your shit from the last lab. It's all good though. All right, we got rid of all of that. Good to go. I think we're good to go there. We can get rid of this because that was from another lab a long time ago too. Global config mode, interface VLAN 1, no IP address. I guess this is why everybody likes using this. Is why these kids like using EVE-NG, right? So they can just spin up a lab and do what they need to do without having to worry about the last configuration. It's all good though. Sometimes you got to deal with this rack rentals as well. Task number, what task are we on? We're still on task 2, but this is the last part of task 2. Switches ALS1 and ALS2. So this guy and that guy right there should have their default gateway pointed. Should have their default gateway point to switches DLS1 and DLS2 respectively. There should be no default gateway configured on the switches DLS1 and DLS2. So when these guys right here, so remember this is the access layer, right? So we got PCs and shit connected to these guys right here, right? So we got a PC there, we got a PC there, PC there, PC there, whatever, right? And then when they need to go out to the internet, they need to have what? A default gateway. So this guy is going to be their default gateway pointing that way, and his default gateway is going to be pointing that way. And then what's their default gateway? .1 for here and .1 for there. The IP addresses that we configured, right? What are they? .1 here, and the other default gateway is .1 there, right? So 200.1.1 and 100.1.1. Those are the default gateways, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Go to ALS1. Let's take a look at his routing table so far, though. There should be nothing in there, right? See right there. It even says right there. Default gateway is not set. How do we set it? You go to global config mode. This is for layer 2 switches now, not layer 3. So IP default gateway. That means he doesn't have routing turned on or anything like that, but he needs to go out to the internet. He needs to go this way, right? Go that way. Float on the track like a Segway. So this guy right here needs to go to there for his default gateway. Who is that? 100.1.1. This guy right here. Bloop. So let's make him his default gateway. Press enter. Now we do a show IP route, and there we go. It says right there. Last time it said default gateway is not set. Now it says, okay, my default gateway is this way. So when I need to go to the internet or out of my network, I need to go that way, right? We're going to do the same thing on this guy right here. So he is .1. That is his default gateway right there. Here, if you want me to point it that way, that is his default gateway right there. 200.1.1, right? Where is he at? There it is right there. Go to ALS2 and say his default gateway. Go to global config mode. IP default gateway is 200.1.1. We should be good to go there. Verify my work. Show IP routes. Oh, it looks like routing is turned on here. We didn't want that. I must have saved that in my last configs or something. Typically, routing is not turned on a switch. On the layer 3 switch. I don't think routing is normally turned on. You had to actually turn it on. Let's go ahead and turn it off just for the sake of this exam. Or not exam, but this lab here, right? So no IP routing. Because notice all this shit right here. It's expecting routes, but we don't want this. We don't want routing turned on in this. This is supposed to be just layer 2. That's what it's working with, right? So let's go ahead and turn off routing. no IP routing, right? Now let's take a look at it. Show IP route. This is what it looks like. Now we have a default gateway. Y'all see that? Y'all see how I did that? Routing was turned on, and it had all these codes and shit. And then it said default gateway is not set, even though I put in the default gateway. You actually got to turn off routing, and then it says, okay, now my default gateway is that. So he's gonna think that to go out of his network. That make any sense? Let's see if we can ping it. Let's see if we can ping it. Ping. Oh, you know what? I don't think I made. Yeah, I did. I did do that. I did. I should be able to ping it. Theoretically, I should. Ping. Nope. Probably because I got to do. Let me see. Let me make sure. Make sure. No, you can't ping it just yet. I don't know. Oh, that's because this the SVI on here is up down, right? So like, for example, I tried to ping this guy right here. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Right here. I'll even do it like this way. So bloop, bloop, bloop. I tried to ping that guy right there, right? But his interface VLAN 1 or 200 was up down, so I can't ping it just yet, right? Here, I'll even show you. DLS2. Where's DLS2? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Right there. Let me see. Was I to try to ping? Yeah, 200 111. That right there. See, it is up down. That's the reason why I couldn't ping it. So we got to do some further configuring for it to come up. Then we should be able to ping it. So we did the default gateways.
Blank.
Oops,
Node fault gateway configured and switch.
I have the automatic read on an Adobe Reader. Helps me read. So, all right. So task, that was task 2. Task 3. So I guess we're halfway done, right? Task 3. Configure the ports between the access and distribution layer switches as static access ports. Right? I'm going to read that back to y'all. He said configure the ports between the access layer and the distribution layer switches as static access ports. So basically, these ports right here, that port right there, hold on, I'll put it in a different color for y'all. This port right here, that's the links between the access and distribution layer, right? Access and distribution layer. They say they want us to configure this is static access, this is static access, this is static access, and this is static access. Typically, that's what it is out of the box by default, but y'all know I've been fucking with these switches before this live, so we need to go ahead and verify that, right? So let's go to, let's do one by one, right? That interface there is what? FA07 on all of them, right? You see that? 07, 07, 07, 07. So let's make sure that all of them are static access. How do we verify that with? With the switch port command at the end of show IP interface and the IP, right? So let's do show IP interface, FAST. Your interfaces might be different. Mine is 107. In the book, it is just 07. But remember, I've got physical hardware, so they're labeled differently. If you're using EVE-NG or GNS3, it might be labeled differently too, right? We put the switch port keyword there. Can I not do that? Why not? Switch port. For some reason, I can't do that. Maybe because I have routing turned on. I think that's why. Let's just do show IP interface FA0107. It is up. I think that's why. Let's do a show run on that. Show run interface FA107. Probably because routing is turned on. So we're good there. Let's leave that alone. Let's check that we just checked this one right here. Let's go ahead and check this one right here. Routing is definitely turned off on that guy, right? So ALS1 show IP interface FAST 107 switch port. Is it not 107? Let me make sure. I thought that's how you do it. Yeah. 107. Unnumbered. Probably because it's routing's not turned on. So run interface FAST 107. Make sure. Make sure. We didn't turn on routing, right? Show IP route. Okay. We probably got to put the switch port mode access to actually turn that on as an access port. That's probably what we got to do. Let's go ahead and do that. Global config modes, interface FAST 10107, and just do switch port mode access. And now let's do that command that I was trying to do here before I looked like a damn dumbass. Nope, still can't do it. Oh, I'm doing show run. It's just show interface FAST 10. That's the one I was looking for. Switch port like that. This is what I was looking for. And now it is static access right there. Right? So I was doing show run. That's what I was doing wrong. That's not what I meant to do. So let's just do show interface FAST107 switch port, and we'll see. There it is, static access. But the administrative mode is dynamic auto, so that's fine though. We wanted static access on all of them. Let me see. Kelvin was typing in show interface and then blah 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 switch port. Switch port does not exist in a show IP interface context. You didn't need to do any of that. Okay, yeah, there you go. So, yeah, I didn't need to do that. Yeah, I just realized I was just typing show run, trying to look at the configuration. I fucked it all up. What the hell am I doing? So let's go to let's not do any configuration. Let's just look at it, right? So let's go to DLS2. Where's DLS2? Right there. And then show interface FAST107 switch port. That's what I was doing. I was putting the show run there. And there it is right there, static access. That's why he said I didn't have to do all of that. It's just that I was typing the wrong show command. The hell is wrong with me? So it is static access, and let's finally check this one right here. 107 on the other guy. Who's that? ALS2. Show interface FAST107 switch port and static access. Okay, so we're good to go there. What else do I need to do?
Implement filtering between.
Where we at? That was task 3. Still on task 3. Here's another part of task 3. This is where they put all these other subtasks within these tasks. These should be assigned to the VLANs configured on the switches. So remember we said this side was VLAN 100, the other side was VLAN 200. So this side is VLAN 100. This side is VLAN 200. We'll do that in blue. VLAN 200. And let's put those ports in their respective VLANs, right? Just like that. So this guy on 100, this guy on 200, so on and so forth, right? Pretty sure y'all know how to do that. If not, just follow along. Let's go to DLS. Start with DLS1 and put FA107 in that VLAN, which was VLAN 100. Global config mode. Oops, terminal. And we said interface FAST107. Switch port access VLAN 100. And then same thing on ALS2. He is going to be in VLAN 100 as well, right? Because right now he is in VLAN 1, right? So we go to global config mode, interface VLAN, interface FAST107. What he said. Yeah, so yeah, what he was mentioning, I did not have to do that. So we're getting a mismatch right here because we put one side in VLAN 100 and the other side's native VLAN is 1. So that's why we're getting this mismatch right here. We set this is 100, but this port is still set to 1. That's why we're getting that native VLAN mismatch there. So let's go ahead and fix that problem. Interface FA107 switch port access VLAN 100, and that should get rid of that error, right? Let's verify our work. Show interface FAST107 switch port. Now he's in VLAN 100. Good to go. Good to go. What else? We got to do this side right here and put those in 200. All right, so let's go to DLS2. Notice right now it is in VLAN 1, right? 107. This guy right here is in VLAN 1. He's most likely in VLAN 1 as well, because that's by default. Go to global config mode. Interface FAST107. Switch port access VLAN 200. And do the same thing on this one right here, 107, and put that in 200 as well. We might get that native VLAN mismatch again over here. Go to global config mode, interface FAST107, switch port access VLAN 200. Y'all let me know if I'm losing y'all or whatever, or I fucked up anywhere else right here like I did earlier. I'm gonna need some of y'all help with the VACLs. That's a little tough, a little difficult. So I ain't say difficult. It's just kind of new to me. I haven't really played with those. So we're gonna get into that in a little bit. Y'all want me to like button if y'all like what y'all see so far, man. Again, we are this is a topic, some topics in the Encore exam. Where will we at? So these are in 100 or 200, and these are in 100, right? Let's verify our work again. Is it in 200? It is in 200. And notice now the interface, the SVI is coming up because now we have a port in that VLAN, and it's active. So remember we where is he at? Where is he at? It was up down somewhere. That was up down because we didn't have a port that was active in it. So now we do a show IP interface brief, exclude unassign. We'll see it is now up because we put that VLAN or that port in VLAN 200. We can do the same thing on this side to make sure that the SVIs are up as well. ALS1, where's he at? It's over. We got a syslog message letting us know it's up, so that's good to go. Let's check. Yeah, it's up there too as well. Oh, where is that? That's not what I meant. This one right here. But we'll check anyway. Show IP. We need to verify our work, right? Show IP interface brief. Exclude unassigned. It is up. All right, so we good to go so far. Are we still on task 3? Because they like to stick 500 things under one task. And yes, we are. Configure a routed ether channel between DLS1 and DLS2. So, DLS1 and DLS2. So notice we got a port here, and we got an interface here. They want us to bundle these guys up into one ether channel, right? So that's going to basically put those two into one link. And then, but they want us to make it a layer 3 ether channel. So that means we're going to have an IP on this side and an IP address on that side. And then, yeah, we'll have a routed ether channel between the two. That's what they want us to do with that. And then they said, use any channel protocol. So we can use either LACP or PAGP. And then they said assign the switch DLS1 the IP address of 172.16.1.1 and the other side 1.2. So basically, so again, this is a layer 3 ether channel that we're creating, right? Layer 3. And then this is going to be the 172.1. What is it? 16 rather. 16 1.0 network. He gonna be .1 and he gonna be .2. Y'all know what I like to do when I create my ether channels, right? I like to turn the physical interfaces down. Now you don't have to do this. I just like to happen to do it. So because I don't know why, but like my ether channels be messing up when I leave them up and try to work on them. So let's start with this side right here, FA0 111. 1011 and 1012 on the DLS 1 side. Oh, we still got do we have the main of mismatch? I think that error's gone. I think that error's gone once we put the other side on VLAN 100. So we should be good to go. There. If it was still having errors, it would have gave us that. So let's go to global config mode. Interface range FAST 1011 through 12. Y'all remember in BoSonNetSim, I had to put a space in between that and then put the hyphen. Real iOS on the real iOS, you don't have to do that. That's why I was getting stuck there. Remember, BoSonNetSim is a simulator. It doesn't emulate the hardware. It simulates it. So that's how the developers created it, and that's why I was running into that error. So be careful with that. That's why you don't want to get too hung up on the syntax and stuff like that and how they are. Just know the concepts behind this shit, right? Shut down those interfaces. I want to shut down the other side as well. Remember, you don't have to do this. I just like to do this. So let's get out of this interface range FAST 1011 through 12. Shut those bad boys down. And then let's put these guys in port channel 1. And I'm going to put them in LACP. Only because the verbiage makes sense to me. One side got to be active and the other side's got to be passive. That's going to put us in LACP mode, right? They said to choose any protocol. We can force it with the channel protocol command, but y'all know how I am. So let's do channel group 1 mode active. So we're going to put this side on active, and then we're going to put this side passive, right, to make them an ether channel. Then we're going to give it an IP address. That IP address, right? .1 and the other side .2. So active, that should create the port channel. That's port channel 1. Let's get out of this and go and interface port channel 1, PO1, and give him the IP address of, see, notice how I can't even type the IP address in here, right? IP address, question mark. You actually have to turn off the switch port, because right now it's listed, it's activating as a layer 2 port channel. So we got to make it layer 3 with the no switch port command. Now, oh, it says no, not convertible port. Interesting. I think we got to do the physical interfaces first, no switch port, right? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. The reason why I got this command right here, or this error right here, command rejected, is not a convertible port. It's because ports 11 and 12 are switch ports. We got to put no switch port on those guys first before we make this layer 3, the port channel layer 3. So let's do that. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? If I'm not, then I'm going to go ahead and do it now anyway. Let's see. I'm going to exit out of this. Interface range FAST 10 11 through 12. We're going to say no switch port, right? And now let's go to port channel 1, interface PO1, and try to give them the IP address. Nope. We got to do no switch port on that as well, right? No switch port. IP address. That's the reason why. So both the physical interfaces and the logical port channel needs to have the no switch port command for me to be able to put the IP address, right? Y'all see, I tried to do it there, and now I should be able to put in the IP address, which was what? 16.1.1.1/30 subnet, right? Is that what he said? Yeah, /30. So 255.255.252. So now he got an IP address. We can verify our work. Do show IP interface brief, exclude unassign, and there he is right there. But now he's down because the physical interfaces are down, right? This is why like I said, this is why I like to keep the physical interfaces down, for that reason. See, I made that mistake, and it could have just jacked it all up. So let's do the other side. Let's put this as layer 3, that as layer 3, and then the port channel as layer 3, and make him .2, right? Y'all with me so far? So that's something I got to remember. All of those have to be converted to layer 3 before you be able to put it an IP address. So hold on. That's DLS2. He's actually supposed to be, I'm glad I saw that. He's actually supposed to be .2. Let's fix that. He's .2, right? Because I'm on DLS2, right? DLS2 is .2. I'm glad I caught that. Fat Finger Squad in the building. .2. Let's go to the other side. Another reason why I like to turn them things down. So right now I have the physical interfaces right there. They're down. Let's do a no switch port. And then do show IP interface brief. See, I'm pretty sure the port channel was created, but let's check it anyway. It was not. It was not. So let's, oh, I didn't do that. Now let's put them in channel group port channel 1, right? So we did this side. Port channel 1 was created on this side. Let's create port channel 1 on this side. And who is active? So that means he's active, and he's probably, oh, he's going to be passive, or we can make him active as well. But let's verify. Let's verify. How can we tell who was active and who was passive, other than the show run command? Anybody know? Show ether channel summary RD. So we are layer 3 routed. We got a uppercase D down. Let's see. Let's just do a show run command and verify that. Show run interface PO1. No, not the interface. We got to check the physical interface. Show IP interface. Show interface. Show run interface FAST 107. Not 107. What am I thinking? 11. No switch port. No IP address. He's not part of that port channel. I'm glad we checked our work, and this is the reason why I shut it down. Y'all see that? This is why I keep that stuff shut down. That's just me. Interface FA10. Let's do an interface range. Let's do a range. I'm gonna check. Let's check a 12 as well. Show run interface FAST 1012. 12. Yeah, see, he's not part of the port channel just yet. So global config mode, interface, interface range, FAST 100. Come on, man. 0, 11 through 12, channel group 1, mode. Let's put this in passive. Let's put that in passive. Now do a show interface ether channel or show ether channel summary. And there, now we got those ports in that port channel, and we're activated in the LACP, but it's still down. This is exactly why I like to keep the physical interfaces down. Now let's do the other side. So we did, this guy is the passive side, and we put it in port channel 1, and it should be good to go, and it is 1.2. Now we got to do this side right here. Right, y'all with me so far? Am I losing anybody? Let me know. Let me know if y'all have any questions. There's a lot of smart people in the chat room that could help out and stuff like that. Do we create anything yet? We didn't do anything on this side. Except we shut down the physical interfaces, right? Show interface. Let's do show interface status, right? Hopefully those 11 and 12 is disabled. They are. They are routed. Let's put those guys in port channel 1. Interface range. FAST 10 11 through 12. A switch port access VLAN. I'm sorry, what am I thinking? Channel group 1, and we're gonna say mode active. That's creating port channel 1. Port channel 1 should be down. Let's go ahead and give the port channel 1, it's probably layer 2 right now by default, so we need to change it to layer 3, right? How can we verify that? Let's do show ether channel summary. Port channel 1 is right there. It's RD. It is layer 3. So right now it's layer 3. We ain't got to do no switch port on that, I don't think. Right? I don't think we got to do that. We put those two in that port channel. What else do we need to do? We need to, it is LACP. We need to give it an IP address. Show IP interface brief. Exclude unassigned. Right? Let's make sure that port channel 1 has an IP address. I thought we created port channel 1, but I don't see it in here. That's rather interesting. That is rather interesting. What happened to port channel 1? We said we created port channel 1 right here. Let's go to global config mode for that. Interface PO1. IP address of, we said 172.16.1.1/30 subnet. We're halfway through, y'all. We're halfway through, y'all. Let's verify our work. Show IP interface brief. Exclude unassigned. He is down. There he is right there. I wonder why he didn't show up earlier. That's rather interesting. I thought it would have at least been there. Oh, because it showed IP interface. That's what I did. I could have just showed interface status and I would have seen it. And it was not assigned an IP address yet. That's the reason why. That's the reason why it didn't show up. Y'all see that? When I did this filter command right here, exclude unassigned, that's the reason why he didn't show up in here, because I didn't have an IP address into it. Duh, network, bruh. Network, duh. Where the sound effects at? Y'all went with my like button, man. We're halfway there now. Task 3 out of 6, man. I do have an Excel spreadsheet of all the stuff that we're studying and all the stuff that we've covered so far. At least all the stuff I've covered. Join the Discord server if you want a copy of that spreadsheet, right? Here is a link. That's the invite to the Discord server. And this is the study plan for the Encore exam. Again, I don't have to take the Encore exam, right? I'm just studying it for kind of like a, they introduced a lot of new topics in here, and I like to reinforce my knowledge, right? So that's the reason why I'm going over the Encore topics and stuff. Notice this is all the stuff we're covering. Today we are doing ether channels, right? And there's some in this spreadsheet. I have like some links to YouTube videos if you want to learn more about it. If you have a subscription to CBT Nuggets, it'll tell you which video to watch from there. And this is the lab that we're covering today: MLS, ether channels, and security. So once we're done with that, we're going to cover it. We're going to color it in green. Maybe tomorrow or another day, I will implement ether channel and do all of these other labs right here. I should probably do the lab manual first and then the CCNP book. That's what I should do. I'm gonna reorder this book. But anyways, you can change this all up if you want to. Just download you a copy, and you can change this all up and be like, man, I ain't gonna watch no YouTube videos. I have a CBT Nuggets subscription. You can delete that column right there. But anyways, this is the study sheet, the study plan that I'm following. So y'all want to get a copy of that? Go on my Discord server and make sure you subscribe and like this channel, or this video rather. And let's move on with the show. So configure terminal. What were we doing? Oh, we need to bring these port channels up. So this guy need to be turned up, that port channel, and this guy need to be turned up. And then we need to do the physical interfaces, right? Because I manually shut those bad boys down, right? So DLS1, right? He's down. Let's go to global config mode, interface range, FAST 1011 through 12, no shut. That should bring up the physical interfaces and hopefully bring up, no, the port channel's not gonna come up until the other side come up. So it should probably be at least up, down, right? Let's go to the other side, do the same thing. Global config mode, interface range, FAST 1011 through 12, no shut. And hopefully port channel 1 will come up on both sides. Pray to the network gods. 11 and 12 is up. And they'll go to port channel. We can verify our work with show IP interface brief, exclude unassign. We got all ups, so we're good to go there, right? We got a routed ether channel. So basically it's a port channel, but it's layer 3 because they have IP addresses on them on both sides, and they're bundled together. We can check the other side if you want to, but theoretically if this side is working, then that side is up as well. But we'll check anyway, just in case some jackass come in there. You didn't check the other side, that's why it's not working. Let's go to DLS2, show IP interface brief, exclude unassign, and we got all ups. So we're good to go there, right? Let's see if we can at least ping that side. We should be able to at least do that, right? Can't we? I think we should be able to. DLS2 ping 172. We're doing it the other way, actually. 16.1.1. They're connected to each other. I mean, they should at least be able to see each other. Good. So we got 4 there, right? What's the next task? Are we finally on task 4 yet? Jesus, man, this is gonna be killing me, man. Be putting all these subtasks, talking about task 3. Motherfucker, this is like task 11 right now. We did the IP addresses. Finally, we're on task 4 out of 6, man. But I like this book, man. Y'all know how I like these LiveLabs series, man. So, assign the IP addresses. Yes, we did that. All right, so task 4. Use a routing protocol of your choice. I like to use EIGRP since it's a Cisco proprietary, and we use a lot of it at my job, so I'm really familiar with it. Configure switches DLS1 and DLS2. So, this guy and that guy. So that switches ALS1 and ALS2. So, this guy and this guy have IP connectivity to each other. So, basically, in all English, or at least in NetworkBruh terms, make sure this guy can ping that guy. That's all they're saying through that routing interface that we created, right? So, basically, make sure this guy can go over here and talk to this guy right here. Basically, y'all know how I keep shit in simple languages, right? But they ain't gonna read it to you like that when you're taking these exams and stuff like that. Y'all just know I just keep it simple. So let's create a routed protocol of our choice, because basically this network right here, from ALS1's perspective, this is the 200 network, right? That's the 200 network. He got no idea how to get there. He just know how to get to his default gateway. Nor does he know how to get there. That's why they want us to create a routing protocol between these two right here, right? That make any sense? Get rid of all this shit here. So a routing protocol between these two. I'm gonna pick EIGRP. Y'all can pick whatever y'all want, OSPF or whatever. I'm gonna pick EIGRP. Y'all know what it is, right? Enhanced Interior Gateway Routing Protocol. It is a protocol created by Cisco. It is now open standard, meaning you can use it on any switch. They use the port number, I think 88 is the protocol number for it. What else can we say about it? It was implemented or invented in what, 1993? I don't know. There's a lot of fun facts about it. So let's create a routing protocol. How do we do that? We go to DLS1. I'm gonna say we do show IP route. We'll see what we got so far. Right now, we're not even routing, right? We're not even routing. And they said we need to pick a routing protocol of our choice. What happens if we do that, right? Let's say I said I want to do EIGRP. If I do router EIGRP, I'm gonna pick protocol number 10. And right there, it says right there, must enable IP routing first. right? And we know it's not routed because we tried show IP route and it said no default gateway is set, and nor did we see that legend there. So that's how we know layer 3 is not turned on. Remember, these are layer 3 switches, but by default, you got to turn it on. At least back then you had to. So we need to enable routing first before we do EIGRP, right? How do we do that? IP routing, that turns on layer 3. We probably got to do the same thing on this side, right? DLS2. Let's make sure we do that, right? Show IP route. Is he turned on? No, he's not. So global config mode and IP routing, that turns on routing, right? We can verify that with now show IP route, and now you see this little legend right here. Plus we got some routes and shit. Oh, the locally connected routes. So this is DLS1's perspective. He know about the 10 network, the 100 network, which is here. He also know about the 172 network, which is here. But he don't know about this network right here, right? Again, he know about this network, he know about that network, but he don't know about this network. That is the reason why we have to create a routing protocol for them to be sharing routes. And that's what routing protocols do. They share, that's all they do. They just, the next router will be like, hey, I know about these routes. You know how to get there? Here, if not, they're here. That's what they do. Thanks, man. I'm doing CCNA. Appreciate that, QPD, man. We're covering like a lot of CCNP topics, but I've done like over 90 videos on CCNP topics. CCNA topics. There were live streams just like this, but we're doing the CCNA topics. I also have a couple tutorials that I started on the CCNA exam, but then once I started doing this live stream shit, I kind of stopped doing those tutorials, pre-recorded tutorials and stuff like that. So that's the reason why I've been live streaming. But appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that the like button. They come together. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. And I appreciate you for tuning in for sure, man. Make sure you join the Discord server too. I typically stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? This is a link to the Discord server. From there, you can get a copy of that spreadsheet, Encore spreadsheet. So when you're done with the CCNA, come holler at us, man. But either way, you can learn a lot from here too. A lot of this stuff intertwines with the CCNA topics as well. So don't fret. DLS1. We said we're gonna turn on EIGRP router, EIGRP. I'm gonna put process 10 or AS10, right? And we're gonna have DLS1 share this network, which is the 100 network, right? I'll explain again, right? So DLS1, he gonna share this network and tell DLS2 about it, because he don't know about that network right there, right? He don't know about this network. So we got to have DLS2 tell him about it. How do we do that? That's the 100 network. We say network. It was this network right here. The 10110 network. 100.110 network. Network that, right? That's our network statement. So now he going to learn about that network, right? What else we need to do? We also need to put these interfaces right here. Even though he already know about this network, in order for us to be a neighbor with this guy, right? We need to advertise the EIGRP out of them. Right? Then they should theoretically become neighbors, right? So we need to do this network right here was the 172.16.1.0 network, right? Yes. So we need another network statement for them to become neighbors. Network 172.16.1.0 network, right? Let's do a no auto summary. We're not gonna have any neighbors yet because this guy is not participating in. He don't have any interfaces in participating in EIGRP yet. So we need to have these two interfaces participating in EIGRP, and that interface participating in EIGRP. So that way, this guy can know about that network. So in order for him to know about this network right here, he need to tell him about it. Right? That make any sense? That network right there. This is the 200 network. Y'all with me so far? Y'all let me know if I'm losing you, if you got any questions. There's a lot of smart people in the chat room that can help out and stuff like that. Because y'all know sometimes I pay attention to the chat, sometimes I don't. I try to. Let's go to DLS2 and have him share this network, and then have him put those interfaces in the EIGRP so that way he become neighbors with that guy. Right? We turned on IP routing. Router EIGRP 10, right? They gotta be the same in order for them to become neighbors, right? So this is basically EIGRP process or AS number 10. That's our autonomous system number, right? We will share the network, the 200 network, which was the 200.110 network, right? Right, 200.110 network. I'm gonna copy and paste it because I'm lazy like that. 200.110 network, and let's also put these interfaces in the 172.16.10 network, right? 172.16.1.0 network. Y'all understand? I've been fasting, man. I haven't eaten in a good, what, 26 hours, something like that, man. And notice now these guys are neighbors, happily ever after. They say hello every what, 3 seconds by default. We do a show IP EIGRP neighbors, and we'll see he learned about that interface through, or that neighbor through PO1, right? That was this logical interface that we created right here. And that's how he learned about that EIGRP neighbor. So now those two have become neighbors. So now let's take a look at our router table. I didn't look at it before. Let's look at the other guy. This is how his routing table looked like before. From this DLS1's perspective, right? Let's show you real quick. Remember, DLS1, he knew about that network because obviously he was connected to him. He knew about this network because that's obviously connected to him. He did not know about this network right here. Right? Because it's a remote network. He didn't know shit about that network, right? Until this guy lets him know about it. Right? That's how routing protocols work, right? So now we remember, this is how our routing table looked like before. He knew about the 100 network, which is here. He knew about the 172 network, which is here. He didn't know shit about the 200 network right here. 200. Right? So now we do a show IP interface. I mean, show IP. Get out of this. Show IP route. Let's see if we know about it now. And we do. We got a D there. Lets us know we learned about it through EIGRP. And it's a 200. Now he know about the 200.110 network. We got the administrative distance is 90. This is the metric, and we learned about it through 172.16.1.2. Who is that? That's this guy right here. That's this guy. 2.2. That's how he learned about it. So now, what else they want us to do here? Y'all got any questions so far? Am I losing y'all? Y'all let me know. There's no such thing as a dumb question on my channel. Y'all know what it is, man. I try to share as much knowledge as I can. I learned a lot from you guys as well. A lot of you guys point out to me like, hey, NetworkBruh, you fucked up over there on DLS too, man. Some of y'all just be silent and don't say nothing. But it's all good, though, man. Just let me fuck it up and then let me find my mistakes later. So we did the routing protocol of our choice. We configured the switches so that way they have IP connectivity to each other for efficiency. Enable CEF. Y'all know what that is, right? Cisco Express Forwarding. And then verify our configuration and validate connectivity using ping and telnet. So theoretically, being that now he know about this network right here, it's in red, he should know about that network right here. Let's make sure that this guy know about that network right there, that remote network right there, right? So let's go to DLS2, see if he learned about any routes via EIGRP, show IP interface, show IP routes. Brain fart there, man. On day at work, man. Sorry, y'all. 100. Yeah. So now he know about the 100 network, which is right here. This is the 100 network. Let me see. I guess theoretically he should be able to ping over here, right? Right? But they also said to turn on CEF. That I don't remember how to do. Believe it or not, I've had this channel for about, what, 2 years? Maybe 2.5 years? Something like that. I don't know. One of the first videos, I want to say the second video I did was on CEF, but I forgot about that shit, man. Cisco Express Forwarding is a way for us to kind of like forward our traffic. There's two ways we can forward our traffic, right? Process switching or fast switching. And there's also the third way, Cisco Express Forwarding. To turn it on, now this I can't remember. I might have to go to the solution guide for this. That's what I like about this book. If you don't know what the hell you're doing, you can look at the solution guide, just like we did in high school, right? Look at the back of the book for the answers and stuff, right? Well, they have the same thing for each of these labs, right? So we can verify that with what? I think show IP CEF, if I can remember correctly. We learned about some routes, and I think that means it is turned on. Y'all let me know. But I think CEF is enabled when we do this. Because if we did show IP CEF, there wouldn't have been, I don't think anything would have showed up. What else could we do? We could do show IP CEF through a specific interface. Unresolved routes. See, it gets a little deeper than there. Now we're getting into some CCNP topics here, man. Sean Metro said I'm doing good, man. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. But CEF. Now, this I can't remember. How do we enable CEF? Is that a global command or is that done by the interface level? Do y'all remember? I guess that's y'all pop quiz for the day. There's some shit like when I don't know something, I'll be like fronting me like, here's y'all pop quiz for the day when I really don't know what the hell I'm doing, right? But how do we enable CEF? Is that done globally or at the interface level? Cisco Express Forwarding. But I think it is turned on because we're learning routes through CEF because of this right here. Let's see. Let's see if ALS1 can actually ping this guy right here. Well, let's do this. Let's do what a real network engineer would do first before we do all of that. Control Y. Let's see if we can ping our default gateway, which is this guy, right? And then let's see if we can ping his default gateway, which is this guy. And then let's see if we can ping this guy to see if it's all fine and dandy, right? So let's do that one by one, right? DLS1, I mean ALS1. Let's start with ALS1, right? Let's ping my default gateway. What was my default gateway? Show IP route. Don't have one. That's my default gateway. Can I ping my default gateway? Ping. Get on a network. Pray to the network gods. We got to reply. Good. So we're good to go. We're good to go here, right? We're good to go here. So now let's see if we can ping this guy's default gateway, right? And theoretically, if we can ping all the way, then we should be able to do it all the way across too, right? So now let's ping 200.1.1.1, right? 200.1.1.1. Y'all run me my like button, man. Run me my like buttons, man. I've been seeing like 100 views and like 2 likes in this motherfucker, man. Y'all hit me with my likes, man. The more like people would like this, the more this will show up in people's feeds and help with the YouTube algorithm. And I'm not just saying that shit to get more views and more subscribers, but the more people we'll have in the chat, and this will be a better learning environment. And then I'll be able to look over and be like, oh, that's the answer. That's what I'm looking for right there. So it'll be a better learning environment because we'll have more people that know the answers. Because I don't know. You ain't got the answer, Sway. So let's see if we can ping the gateway. We got a reply already. Good. So we're good to go there. So we're good to go here now. All right. So we're good to go here. Now let's finally see if we can ping all the way across. All right. And theoretically, if we can ping all the way across, then we should be able to do the other side as well. Right. That's called bidirectional connectivity. Right. So now let's ping 201.1.2. Get on our knees. Pray to network guys. We're not getting a reply so far. We got a drop ping packet. We got a success rate. I was starting to, my heart started to beat there, right? 60%. We don't like that, right? We like to see 5 exclamation points. Let's ping it again, right? Because there was resolution right there. Now we got 5 exclamation points. So we good to go there, right? So now we are able to ping all the way across, right? Here, I'll give y'all a green arrow just in case somebody want to see all my green arrows, right? There you go. So now we're able to ping all the way across. And theoretically, we should be able to ping from here to there. We ain't going to do all the way across, but I'll do it anyway, right? ALS2. ALS2. Where you at? Right? Who was that? That was from ALS1, right? Yeah, so let's do ALS2. Ping. He was, what was he? 100 dot. I forgot who he was. I'll have to check. I can't remember. Y'all know I got the memory of a goldfish, man. He's 101.1.1.1.2. So he should be able to ping that guy. We're good to go there. All right, good. All right, so now, has y'all figured out how to turn on CEF just yet? If not, don't make me go to the back of the book, man. Don't make me do that, y'all. I think CEF is turned on. But that's what he said. He said, let's verify that again, right? Before we move on to task 5. This is the final task. So we was able to ping. Let's do the telnet too, just so we make sure. Can he telnet to the other side now? Telnet to the other side. Can you telnet? Yeah, you can. So now so now I was able to telnet from here to there, right? Yes. No, that was the other way around. I was telnet from here to there. All right, so now I just want to verify. How do we enable, make sure we turned on CEF? Y'all remember yet? Anybody? Somebody? You sure in the back. How do you enable CEF, Cisco Express Forwarding? Right? Let's verify. He said for efficiency, enable CEF. And I think it is enabled. To enable CEF, use the IP CEF command in global configuration. That's what I thought, and I think it is already enabled because we did the show IP CEF. But let's do it anyway, right? Global config mode, and it's all good if you Googled it because I could have done that too. IP CEF. There you go. See, I did it globally. Incomplete command. That's a tricky one. So it's not interface level command, right? Do I got to do it on layer 2 switches? Let's do. Let's see. IPCEF. He said, yeah, enable IPCEF in the global configuration mode. Yeah, so, and I did IPCEF, but it's expecting some other keywords in here for me to turn it on. And I think it is enabled CEF because of that right there. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had this table. Right? Y'all let me know. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to task 5. We're on task 5 out of 6. Almost done, y'all. I guess that's what, 85% complete? 86? I don't know. Y'all let me know. Task number 5. At the VLAN level. Now, this is the tricky part right here. We're going to be working with what's called VLAN access control lists. So we've done access control lists on this channel, but now we're doing it at the VLAN level. Now, this is a pretty, I'm going to say difficult subject. It's just I never really dealt with them when I was studying for CCNA. So this is semi-new to me, and I'm going to need a little help for y'all. And I'm going to, let's see. Let's just finish reading. Let's see. At the VLAN level, implement filtering for VLAN 100 as follows. Drop all TCP packets. Drop all UDP packets. Goddamn, he wants to drop us all. Drop all packets. Forward all other non-IP packets and forward all other IP packets. And then we got to do the same thing for VLAN 200. This is a tricky one. This is a tricky one right here. All right, so VLAN access control list. So this is going to be a tough one. All right, so let's do this. Do we got to do this on all 4 switches? That's my question. Let's see. Let's see how they did it. Because, oh yeah, show IPCEF detail will let us know also. Show, let's verify that. Let's do that on the distributed layer switch real quick. Show IPCEF detail. Yeah, this should definitely let us know that, see, there it is right there. That's what I was looking for. CEF is enabled. So that's how we can verify it too. So, definitely enabled. All right, but let's go back to the access control lists. This is going to be a tough one. All right, so, let's see here. So, this is going to be a tough one right here. First, we got to create an access control list, and he said allow TCP traffic or deny. Deny. Drop all TCP packets. This is going to be a tough one, y'all. May have to resort to the solution guide on this one, because like I said, I'm not too familiar with VACL, so I'm definitely going to have to look at this one. Let's see. He even says there, this task requires a little thought. When configuring VACLs, if the configured VLAN map has a match clause for the type of packet, which can either be IP or MAC, and the packet does not match the type, the default is to drop the packet. However, if there is no match clause in the VLAN map for that type of packet, no action is specified, the packet is forwarded. So first we got to create an IP access list, which we know how to do, right? An extended one at least. Let's go to the distribution switch and do that. Let's go to DLS1. Go to global config mode. IP access list. Oops, my bad. Jesus. Can we just do access list? Come on, man. All right. We turned on routing, didn't we? Do our show IP route real quick. We did. Okay. IP access list. I can't even create an access list. What's going on here? Let's just do access list. Let's do that. Let's try that. Extended. Yes, we can create an extended one right here. And then allow TCP. So he named it and then named it allow TCP. And then permitted the TCP traffic. Because if it doesn't match, it'll drop it. Right? So let's name it allow TCP, even though we said we're going to drop TCP packets, but we're going to make sure that we're permitting the TCP traffic. So let's do that. Permit. So we're going to call it allow, just like he did. Can we name it here? I thought we can name it here. How you can name it? Name it. I thought you can name it there. To name, we got to do IP access list, I believe, right? Yeah, we did ACLs a while back, didn't we? IP access list. Why can't? Okay, there we go. Okay, so, and then we'll do an extended one and name it. That's how you do a named one, right? Because if you just do access list by itself, this is gonna be a numbered one. If we want to name it, you got to put the IP keyword. How come I couldn't do that before? Maybe because I wasn't typing all the way in. It's all good. All right, so extended, we'll call it allow TCP. Will be an IPX named access control list mode right there. Notice that these different sub modes here, right? And then we're gonna permit the TCP traffic, even though he said drop. Where is it? Right here. Drop TCP packets and then drop all UDP packets. Right? Let's do that. So permit TCP, IP, any. Permit TCP, because we're allowing it first, right? Any. So we got to create the access control list, and then we're going to create what's called a VLAN, what's it called? VLAN access map that'll be mapped to this access control list. And that's how you create a VLAN access list, or VACL. A little tricky, man, a little tricky. And then we're similar to what's called route maps. So, like I said, this is a little deeper subject. I hope I ain't losing any of y'all, but this is like I said, this is a little tougher here. So, after we do that, let's create another access list that's going to allow UDP. So let's get out of this. IP access list. Extended allow, let's call this one allow UDP. Right? I know we said we're gonna drop it, but we're gonna create the VACL, which will actually drop it if it doesn't match this ACL, right? So now we're gonna say permit TCP. I know it's kind of confusing, right? Because we said we're gonna drop TCP packet, but yet right here this ACL says permit. Well, when we create that VACL, it's gonna say, well, it doesn't match this. Let's drop the traffic. Permit TCP. I'm sorry, UDP. Any, right? Any source, any destination, right? Let's get out of this, and now let's create the VACL, which is the syntax. They don't type. You would think when you want to create a VACL, you would say something like IP VACL or VACL or something like that, right? No, the syntax is actually VLAN access map, right? Is it map? Yes, VLAN access map, and that map, this is kind of like route maps, right? But we're gonna create this VACL that's gonna get tied to these access control lists that we created just now, right? So now VLAN access map, and then we'll call it just like they did in the book, VLAN -100, VLAN -100, right? And then we have to we'll give it a sequence number, right? Let's give it, let's see, we didn't name this one, so let's just do 10 right there. Let's just do 10, right? And now we're going to actually create the VLAN access map and say match, we're going to match it to these access control lists, right? So how do we do that? We're going to say match the IP address. So this VLAN, this is the VLAN, I know it says access map, but this is the VLAN access control list that we're going to create. We're going to say match the IP address that matches this with these ACLs here, this ACL and that ACL, right? I know it's kind of tricky. It is kind of tricky, but this is similar to how route maps work. Match IP address from what address? We're saying the access list name, which was what? Allow TCP.
DLS1 config X. DLS1 config.
That's my
hashtag thought.
My Adobe Acrobat reader when I need to have it read to me out loud. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. But let's see. We said VLAN access map, match the IP address of VLAN, the ACL, which was called that one right there. So match the IP address that this ACL matches. Anything it finds, match that, right? So from this, what else can we do here? Question mark, Can we add another one? I don't think you can add another one. But that's the name of it. And then what to do with that traffic is what we're going to do next, I believe. Either drop or forward. Right? Let's see. Yes, that's what we want to do. So when anything matches an IP address that matches this IP access list, it's kind of like match this and match that. If it matches, tell it what to do. That's what we're doing here. So match the IP address from the ACL allowed TCP, which was this one right here. Right? What to do with that? We're gonna say drop, or action rather. Action. What's the action we can do? Drop those packets, and that's the drop part that we was looking for, right? I know I said allow here, but when you match this, actually drop it. That's what we're saying with that. If that makes any sense. I hope I ain't losing y'all, right? So now we do action drop. That's what this VLAN access control list is going to do, right? Now we do the same thing, but for VLAN. The other access control list, which was we did allow TCP. Now we got to do the same thing for this ACL, right? So now we got to create another rule basically. So match IP address allow. What was it? Allow. The other one was called allow UDP, right? Yep. And what to do with that? Action drop. It should be drop it. So anything, let me explain that real quick. So this VLAN access control list, I know it says access map. This is actually a VACL or VLAN access control list. So all the ports that are on this switch right here will participate in that rule. I know he looks like a spider now, but all the ports will participate in this rule right here. What does this rule say? It says match the IP address from the access control list. This one. Allow TCP. Match IP address, allow TCP. What to do with that traffic? When you receive traffic that matches this, what to do with it? Action, drop. And that's what we're going to do with the other one. Allow UDP, right? I hope I ain't losing y'all. I know it's kind of confusing. I wish there was a simpler way to explain all this stuff, but like I said, it's similar to how route maps work. So it's just done at the VLAN level. So, and what else can we say? These are layer 3 interfaces anyway, so it is done at the VLAN level, but y'all want my likes, man. We're almost done here, right? We're on task 5 out of 6 here. So what was to do with this one? Drop. What was the next task? That was the same task. We need to create another one for, that was VLAN 100. We didn't even give him a sequence number. That's what we should have done. Because I created a sequence number 10 there. I should have done a sequence number 20 on the other one. So that way they're in specific order and stuff, right? So it knows how to read it. This is a long one, y'all. We're on task 5 out of 6, but he's got like 8 subtasks within one task. So, all right. Let's see here. VLAN. Let's create the other one. The last one, we'll do sequence number 30, action forward. So back to VLAN access map. 100. So let's get out of this. VLAN access map. Where is he at? VLAN access map. We'll do sequence number 30. And this action is going to be to forward it. Did I create the other one to be VLAN 30? Probably not. But I think you could check, kind of like how you could check the ACLs and do show IP access control lists. I think we should be able to do the same thing with VACLs. Remember, I said I'm not that well versed at VACLs, but we'll see. We're gonna do forward with this one, and then let's see. Can you do that? Show IP, not access lists. Can you do VACLs? No. Access lists. We can check the access lists. We can do that. Does anybody remember how to verify your VLAN access control list? How do you do that? Show VLAN access control list? Well, look at there. I guess that's how you do it. No, that's VLAN access log. Map. That's what we was looking for. You see, and this is what I mean about the syntax. Even though we were creating or configuring VLAN access control list, the syntax is actually VLAN access map. So that's the confusing thing about it, man. I don't know if they do this shit to confuse you when you take the exams and stuff like that, but we're playing with VLAN access control lists, but the syntax is actually VLAN access map. So now we can verify our work with, and there it is right there. So we need to create a VLAN access control sequence number 20. But sequence number 10 maps this one. We don't even have anything for VLAN or access number 20 or 30. Let's do one for 20, because 20 was to allow TCP, correct? Let's see. Yeah, 20 was to allow TCP. Let's verify. Let's look at the rules. Let's look at the rules. Let's look at the rules. He said to, let me see, y'all any questions? Y'all any questions? He said, I think your sequence 10 is still UDP. It overwrote allow TCP. Yes, Cisco's not consistent with it at all. Yeah, I did override it, and this is how we verified it too. Exactly. Good point. I'm glad you pointed. I'm glad you paid attention, Sean. But yes, I've overwritten it with this right here because of this math clause. So, and that's a good reason why we've got to run our show commands when we're doing our work. So we need to do not all of it over, but at least that part over again. We need to do at least that part over again. Just like what Sean Mitchell said, the sequence number 10 is still UDP. It overwrote TCP, which is why rule number 10 is allowing UDP. So good point. I'm glad you caught that. But we caught it as well. So let's go to global config mode. Looks like we got to do all that over again. Let's do that. Well, not all over. Just that part right there. Just that part. I'm glad you pointed that out too. All right. We did our access control list. Let's create our VLAN access control list again, which was VLAN access map. You would have thought they would have put VLAN access control list, and now you're in VACL configuration mode. No, they said access map. Let's confuse these motherfuckers. No, you know what it is? It is, like I said, it's because it's similar to route maps. So you're mapping an access control list for VLANs to an access control list. So we're mapping that. That's the reason why it sort of makes sense. So with this, we said VLAN. Oops, my bad. VLAN access map, and then we got to go in that configuration mode, right? We named it. Did we name it? Now we name it VLAN. What was the name? The original name was VLAN-100. I'm typing it twice, and I think the sequence number was there. That's what we do. The sequence number. We got to do this. We got to do the other one. It's 20. So, and just like Sean said, that I've overwritten my rule with that first one. So let's make sure we're doing this correctly. So this first one was to match the IP address that will allow TCP. So match the IP address from that first rule, which was allow TCP. This one right here, that first ACL, right? And then the next one we got to do 20, which will match the IP address from allow UDP, right? First, let's create the action. Action was to drop for this one, and then get out of this one and create the other one, which was VLAN access map. The name of the access map was VLAN-100, but now we do another sequence number. That's the reason why I'd overwritten it, just like Sean said. And this is why I fuck with y'all, man, because sometimes I'm like, I'll catch myself later on, but I'll look over in the chat and see y'all caught it as well. So I'm glad y'all saw that too. Now we can say for this one, match IP address, allow -UDP. This is the ACL we wanted to match, right? That original ACL, allow TCP, or allow UDP rather, and then drop that one. So action, drop. Let's do a show, verify our work with show IP, VLAN, what's that? Access, what was the No, what was it? VLAN. Do show IP. What was it? What was the name of it? What was the name of how you verify the VLAN access list again? VLAN access map. There we go. VLAN show VLAN access access map. What was it? We said it was that. Oh, I guess you can't do it from that mode, can you? Let's see. Yes, you can. There we go. 20. There we go. Now that looks a little bit more thorough there. Rule number 10 says to match the IP address from the ACL allow TCP. Rule number or sequence number 20 says to allow match the IP address from this access control list. What to do with it? Drop it. Same thing with this one. Drop that one. Now we got to do the same thing. Sequence number 30, which was, what was the rule they asked us to do? What did they ask us to do? Let me see. He said, yeah, Cisco's not consistent at all. Yeah, you're right. It is not consistent. And but like I said, I think the reason why they call it VLAN access map is because it's similar to route maps, and you're mapping a VLAN access control list to an access control list. So I guess it sort of makes sense. Where was I? They said they want us to do, that third sequence was to forward all non-IP packets. Was that third rule. So we got to create another sequence, which was sequence number 30. Sequence number 30. How are we going to do this one? Forward all other non-IP packets. So we'll do the same thing. We'll go back to this VLAN access control list. We're going to say VLAN access map. And the name of it was what? VLAN hyphen 100 was the name of it. And the last sequence number was going to be 30, which is the one we haven't done anything yet, right? And said, just go ahead and forward everything else. That's what we're doing with this last sequence of the VLAN access control list. Again, similar to route maps. 30. And what did it say with that? Action, drop, right? I'm sorry, forward. Right? Is that what we said we was going to do with that one? That last rule? Yes, to forward anything else. So forward. Which it already is forwarding. Yeah, so we already did that. It's already left there. But we gotta have a match clause for it, I believe. I don't think it should forward all other traffic. It should forward all other traffic. But I would have thought we would have to have at least a match clause for that. Probably because it's referencing VLAN 100. That's probably why it's going to match it anyway. So, what the fuck ever. Let's just say action forward for that. Forward for that one. And then, what was the last part of task number 5? We're on task 5 out of 6. We're almost done, y'all. I said that like for the past half hour, right? It's just that there's so many subtasks within these tasks at the VLAN level. So basically, we got to do the same thing on VLAN 200. Not the same thing. He got different rules. Forward all ICMP traffics. Forward all ICMP packets at VLAN 200. And then forward all MAC packets from the MAC address of ALS2. That's a tough one. Drop all other IP packets and then drop all other non-IP packets. That's a lot. But we're to do the same thing what we did, but now we're doing all of those rules for VLAN 200. So now when we have some, those guys are not VLAN 200. So we got to do this. Most likely we got to do this on VLAN 200. I mean, on this guy, because VLAN 200 is on here. So any ports that are in VLAN 200 will follow these rules. Forward all ICMP packets. Forward all other forward all MAC packets from the MAC address ALS2. Drop all other IP packets, and then drop all other non-IP packets. So we got to do the same thing, but for VLAN 200, right? Not same thing, but the same logic of creating a VACL, right? I hope I ain't losing y'all. Phone dead. I can't get y'all any more bruh sound effects. I didn't have them on the charger. What was I thinking, bruh? All right, so let's go to DLS2 and do that, right? Let's make sure. I think we should go to DLS2 to do that. We created our port channels and stuff like that. And then we don't have to test all of that stuff, too. All of these damn rules and shit Whew, wait till we get to the OSPF and all these other rules. This is only lab 4 from the book. If y'all don't know, we're using a book called 101 Labs, Cisco CCNA. You can get a copy from 101 Labs. I'm not saying CCNA, CCNP. And it's a pretty good book. Gives you all these labs where you can practice the theory that you learned and stuff like that. So, and that's where we're getting this from. What was that last part there? We got my man Big Feet Studio LLC. Said, bro, do the thing. Appreciate you for tuning in. We got Byron in the building. I think that's Plant-Based Brother. We haven't seen you in a minute. I guess he changed his username, but appreciate you for tuning in. Yeah, we're doing the CCNP stuff. Right now we're working with VLAN access control lists. But in the syntax, they're called VLAN access maps, or VLAN access maps, because they're similar to route maps, and that's the reason why they did that. So that first rule, we got to go to DLS2, like I mentioned. We got to create an ACL. Let's go to global config mode, IP access list, and it's got to be an extended one. We're gonna say, what did they say? They said to forward ICMP traffic. Right? So let's call it, like they did, allow ICMP, right? That's basically ping packets, right? Now we're going to create that ACL. What we're going to do with it? We said allow. So IP permit, that's the key word, right? Isn't it? No, you got to do permit first. And then ICMP rather, right? Any. So that's going to permit ICMP traffic. Any, right? What y'all got? Y'all got any questions or anything like that so far? Or am I losing y'all? Y'all let me know. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit that like button and stuff like that. Like I said, we're going to get into more deeper subjects. I really got to do some reinforcement on VACLs. This is clearly a weak point of mine. At least for me, it feels like that. But I think I'm doing a pretty decent job explaining this stuff. So we're allowing ICMP with this access control list. The second part of the access control list we wanted to do. They said to permit, what was it? It was said to permit an IP access control list. I'm sorry, access control list. Permit a MAC address. What was it? What was that rule? Let me see. That rule was said, forward all MAC packets from the MAC address of ALS2. What's the MAC packets of ALS2? Let's check his ARP table. ALS2 is here, right? We haven't touched him in a while. Let's wake him up. Show IP ARP. Let's say this guy right here. That is the base MAC, should be the base MAC of 2.2, which is him. That's his IP, his MAC address. So we got to create an access control list that's going to match this MAC, this MAC right here, right? Forward the traffic from it, right? So that means anything that's connected to this right here will be able to forward their traffic, right? And we'll test this out later, right? We'll pray to the network gods and test that later. Byron says it's been a while and I needed to get back to labbing. That's what's up, Byron. Appreciate you for tuning in. But yeah, we getting back to labbing too. I took like a 2-week hiatus, I believe. I don't remember, before I started streaming again. I really need to brush up on VACLs and stuff like that. Like I said, this is a fairly new topic for me. So let's see here. We need to let's see here. It was task 5. That map packet is what we matching. So we're gonna permit anything from this host to any destination with that access control list, right? So this host right here, who is ALS2, this guy right here, that's his MAC address, right? We're going to permit anything to go through there, right? So let's go to DLS2. Where's he at? Right here. We're going to say permit, what's that, host? No, what you got to do? IP host? What we permitting? Who can you do? How can you do that? Is it IP? He said all packets, so I believe it's IP. And then the host. From that MAC address, can you do host and then the MAC address? Let me see. Is that how you do it? No, it's got to be the IP address. It's got to be the IP address. So I thought you could do it from the MAC address though. Let's see. Yeah, because it says source address. Can you do it like that with just the MAC address? Any? No, you can't. I thought you could do. Let's see. That's what I'm saying. He's asking for an IP address. You can't do it by the MAC address. So that's a tricky one. That's a really tricky one. That's a really tricky one. How can you allow just by MAC address? Let me see how he did it in the book, because that's a tricky one. Really tricky one. Let's see here. You create the IP address. I mean the access control list. What did I name it? I didn't even name it yet, did I? I said allow ICMP, but we're permitting IP any, yes. Oh, you got to do a MAC and then ACL. So this is I think that's called a port ACL, if I'm not mistaken, right? NetworkBruh. So you use an IP ACL to match stuff on IP stuff. So by extension, you use a MAC ACL. Yes, isn't that, and Kelvin, correct me if I'm wrong, that's called a port ACL, right? If I'm not mistaken, or a PACL? I don't remember. So, yeah, I see what you're saying. Back up out of this, and what I was trying to do was IP access list, create another one, extended, and then let's say, how you do that again? Let's see. That's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. Permit MAC, that's what it is. So he called it. See, this is a new concept for me right here. MAC. Let's see here. You create the access list, and he did MAC and then access list. This is what he did. MAC access list. So you create an access list and filter it down to MAC address. Whew, that's a new topic for me, y'all. That is a tricky one. See, I'm glad that we got Kelvin in the building. Okay, so no, that I was wrong. A PACL is something different. Okay, so what I was looking for was a MAC, an access control list that will match a MAC address. This is a tough one, fairly new concept for me. So what I was trying to do was MAC access list, and now we create an extended one, and let's call this one. They call it switch ACL. So a PACL isn't a type of ACL, but it is an implementation of an ACL on a switch port for filtering. Tricky one. But that is not like we said. We're trying to do. We're trying to do an access list for MAC address. So it's MAC access list. New concept for me. I don't know if it is for y'all, but deep subject right here. At least it's not at the CCNA level. So now let's call this one match anything from this guy, because that's his ACL or his MAC address. So extended switch ALS2. This is how they named it anyways in the book also. So yes, I'm going by the solution guide on this, and then forward that traffic, right? So, but we need to verify the MAC address, right? Let's see here. So now we can permit that. So now we can permit this guy to forward his traffic. Anybody that's connected to him, right? Anybody that's connected to him. So now permit host, and now we can do the MAC address there. So that's a tricky one for me. This is like I said, this is a fairly new concept for me. So now I know we need to be able to match by MAC address. We do a MAC access control list. Didn't know you can do this. I don't know if it is for y'all, but definitely new for me. He said, fun fact, you can have a MAC access group on top of that. So on an interface though, there's a weird thing. If you use a MAC ACL and a MAC access group, you can't use that to filter on IP traffic. It'll fail on IP traffic encapsulated by an Ethernet header. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. So you wouldn't want to use all of this. I guess this is a rarely used feature when you want to be able to match packets at layer 3 level. You're just going to play with layer 3 ACLs as opposed to this MAC access control list, which is probably why they rarely teach us this or even teach this at the CCNA level, right? You let me know. It's layer 2 versus layer 3, just like Sean just said. Yep, which is what I was thinking. So what was the host? This guy's MAC address, right? Whew. Tough stuff here. Permit that guy. to any destination, right? Now we can say any. And then I think that's all we need to do here. This is definitely nothing else we need to do. Do we want a sequence number? No, that's woo. No, I don't know none of this shit right here. We could do a lot with this apparently. I'm gonna just leave that as is. Source and destination. All we need to know. We don't need to filter it anything more than that. Now I think we can actually create the VACL that'll match this Mac access control list. We're like in the Matrix here. Where's my bruh sound effects? Now let's create the VLAN access control list. What he said, let's see. He said, I can probably count the time someone's asked me about them on one hand. Yeah, that's what I thought, man. It's more of a CCIE thing. Yeah, I would think so too. I would think so too. Mac access control list. Definitely a new topic for me. But whoo, man. Okay, that's how we know how deep this can get. And like he said, it won't even work with IP access control list. Why the hell would you even use that feature then? Crazy. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and create our VACL, what we finally came to do, right? Still on task 5, y'all. Subtask within a task. Where my bruh sound effects at, man? Let's get out of this. VLAN access map. Like I said, you would think they would have called it VLAN access control list here. And let's name it I don't know. Allow ALS2, something like that. Yeah, let's just call it allow ALS2, because that's what we're essentially doing, allowing the traffic through here, but just at the VLAN level, right? So that way these guys that are connected to them, when they want to forward traffic through that VLAN, it'll get allowed. So I guess we can call it allow ALS2 or some shit like that, right? Allow hyphen ALS2, right? And now we can say what? Match the IP address from the Mac access control list named, what did we name him? Switch ALS2, right? Because this was the Mac access, say that 3 times in a row. The Mac access control list, right? We can verify that, right? Question mark, IP access list, or the access list name, which was that guy, right? Yeah. No. What you got to do is match that MAC address. So when we did it this way, this will match the IP address. This is an access control list. This we're saying that match an access control list. We're actually wanting to match a MAC access control list. So it's done differently on here. So it's actually match MAC base match. Where my bruh sound effects at, man? Listen, man, learning a lot of new stuff here. I don't know about y'all, but that's what my channel is all about. I'm learning, and hopefully you guys are learning as well. Or if you know this stuff at a deep understanding, you can let me know more about macking. Say that 5 times in a row. Mac access control lists. So we're doing Mac access control lists along with VLAN access control lists and matching those to an IP access list. It's like the Matrix up in here, man. Danielle in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. So yeah, we got to do a lot of matching here, y'all. All right, so match the MAC address from, what was that access control list? From this. So match MAC address. So match the MAC address to the access control list. What? Allow ALS2. Right? Anything else we can do with that? Come up with sequence number. That's the name. That's it. That's pretty much it. There. Now, what to do with that traffic when we match this rule, right? Similar route maps, but now we're mapping it to a MAC access control list as opposed to an IP access control list. I hope I'm not losing y'all, but like I said, man, this is like we're in a Matrix here. Let's forward that traffic. Is what we wanted to do with that, right? My microphone Drop. Now that's what you literally call a mic drop there. All right. So, what was it we were going to do here? We were going to match that access control list, and then what to do with it? We could action. Let's see what our options are, so we can further understand Mac access lists and what to do with them. We could drop or forward. That's pretty much it. Similar to route maps, but except at the MAC address level, as opposed to IP address level, right? So, and I did not know you could do this. I'm not gonna fret. I did not know you could do this. I knew you can do it at the IP level, obviously, with route maps, but an access control list for MAC addresses, that's a new one for me. So, action, we want to forward those packets, right? So that way, anything that matches the VLAN, like, so let's say this VLAN 200, anything that matches it will actually be able to go through. Action, forward that traffic, right? What was the last thing they wanted us to do? We're still in task 5, aren't we? Well, it makes you feel better. At least it's good popcorn opportunity for me. It's all good. Let's see here. What else we needed to do here? Let's see here. Drop all other packets. Drop all other IP packets. So this is kind of like pretty much a route map here. And then drop all other non-IP packets. So same thing, but at the layer 3 level, right? So instead of match MAC, we're going to do match. We should do match IP, and that should match those rules. Let's see here. Let's see. Where were we? Match. We did MAC access control lists. We did that guy. We needed to do the VLAN access control list that will allow the IP traffic. So let's do I don't think we did a sequence number. We should have done that, because let's verify our work. Show, what was that command again? Show IP, show VLAN access map. We gotta do show VLAN access map. And nope, that's not it. Let's do show VLAN access map. There we go. And now we can take a look at our rule here. We're going to match that MAC address for sequence number 10. We got to do another sequence number for the other rule. So we go back into this VLAN access control list and create another sequence for it. Global config mode, VLAN, what was the name of it? That was the name of it. VLAN access map. The name of it was this guy. And we're going to say sequence 20 for this next one, right? And then create that other part of the rule there. Let me see what he said. Oh, that was it. So, what was it? Match the MAC address from switch ALS2, which we did. Oh, we didn't do allowing the ICMP. And we got to be careful here, because if we create another sequence, because he already made another sequence for this guy, we forgot to do the IP packets. So we need to create another rule. If we do that again, it'll override it. So let's create this rule right here. Let's do match IP address from allow this first ACL. What was that first ACL? Let me show y'all my ACLs real quick. Show IP access list for this next one. I didn't do that, did I? Control A, do. That rule right there. We got to create a rule that's going to match this ACL, right? So are we in VLAN access control list mode? Yes, we are. And it's number 20. So now I hope I'm not confusing y'all, right? So let me show y'all real quick. We created a rule that's going to match the MAC address. This rule right here, right? This VACL is going to match the MAC address in this MAC access control list. We made it sequence number 10. It did it automatically, right? Because it does it automatically. Next rule is going to be 20, next rule is 30, so on and so forth, right? We need to create another rule that's going to match the IP packets from this ACL right over here. We're going to make it sequence number 20. So we're in 20 right now. Match IP address from the rule what? This guy, allow ICMP. Right? Y'all with me so far? And that should be sequence 20. Let's do a show. What was it again? VLAN access. Ambiguous command. Access right there. Jesus. Access map. That's what we're looking for. Now we got a rule that is going to match the MAC address access control list, and another rule or sequence that's going to match the IP traffic. Right? Tricky one. May or may not work, like what Kevin was mentioning about the access control list. No, let me see. Yeah, because this is a route map, so it should theoretically work. We'll verify in a second here. What was the last part of the rule? Are we still on task 5? Holy shit, these are long, man. That last part of the rule, he said, drop all other non-IP packets, which that ACL should be. Oh, we got to do a drop. This is forwarding. I think we got to make that guy drop. Because he said, drop all other packets and then drop all other non-IP packets. Right now, it looks like it's forwarding. So I think we got to change that to drop its traffic. Let me verify that. Let's see. It's going to forward. Let's see. It is forwarding that one. It is forwarding that one. That's exactly what we wanted. That's exactly what we wanted. We didn't want to drop it. It's going to forward that traffic. So, okay. Now, what we need to do is create, here's another one. This is a new concept for me right here, too. You got to create a VLAN filter. Now, this is definitely new for me right here. Because right here, it says, now again, this is a solution guide right here. Following completion, verify the VACL configuration using show VLAN access map, which we've done a million times right here, and show VLAN filter commands on switches DLS1 and DLS2. See now, for show VLAN filter, I didn't know that about that one, so let's do that. Show VLAN hyphen filter. Or is it filter? Nope. What is it? Show VLAN filter. Let me get out of the Duke, man. Let's get out of that altogether. Show VLAN. Where is he at? Didn't I type that? I typed it a million times and it still didn't want to work. I don't know why. I guess it can't work in that mode. I don't know. Filter, and you can do access map. Show VLAN filter, and then because we have to create the filter. So there you go. Go to global config mode, and then they created the filter. So now, like I said, this is a new concept for me. He created the VLAN filter, and then use that to map to the VLAN. So this is what we did here. We created those access control lists. Then we created the VLAN access control list that's mapped to those, including the MACLs, the MAC access control lists. And then we actually have to apply the VLAN access control list to the VLAN. And this is how you do it with the VLAN filter command. I don't like the keyword there, but I guess that's how they did it with the syntax, right? Bucks are up, or Suns are up, 45-44. Close game, close game. It could go any way for this one so far. But I got the Suns on this one. I say Suns in 6. All right, so let me see. So yeah, VLAN filter, and then the name of the VLAN. So VLAN filter, and then the name of the VLAN map name, which was, what did we name it? The VLAN map name, we did show IP ACL, show VLAN map, which was, I believe it was that guy right there. Allow ALS2 is what we named it. That is the access control list, is VLAN access control list that we created. That is the name of it. And then, what else we need to do? Let me question mark and see. Let's see. Y'all know I ain't ashamed to question mark through VLAN list. That's what we got to do. And then a VLANs to apply the filter to, which we didn't name them. See, we didn't name them. So we're just going to do, this is DLS2, so VLAN 200. So we're applying, this is what we're doing. VLAN filter. So this is kind of like when we go to the interface and we do IP access group, and then, or access class, whatever, of access group, and then apply the ACL. We're doing the same thing, but we're doing it at the VLAN level. But this is how we do it. VLAN filter, the name of the access control list, or VACL, and then what VLANs to apply it to, right? I hope that makes sense. I'm like I said, a lot of this stuff is new to me here, but this is exactly what we're doing, right? We created the the access control lists. Then we created a VLAN access control list, tied those to the ACLs, and then take the VLAN access control list and actually apply it to the VLAN, right? So now anything that's in VLAN 200, so like this guy right here, let's say this guy is in VLAN 200 and he forwards traffic, guess what? He's going to match those rules that we created within that VACL, within all those VACLs and all of those rules and stuff, right? So again, similar to route maps, but at the VLAN level. What else we need to do? Apply it to the actual VLAN. So VLAN ID was 200 on this one. What else could we do? Is that it? That's pretty much it. I guess we could apply it to more VLANs, but on this side, remember, we only had VLAN 200 over here. Let me get rid of all of this squiggly shit right here, right? Might have to create another thing for y'all real quick. Let's create another one. Let's create another one. Where's my snippet tool? There you go. Copy. We almost done, y'all. Task number 5 still, man. Like I said, he creates all of these subtasks within a task. Let's see here. Okay. We applied it to the VLAN with that command right there. No, we didn't. We got to press enter. Now we could what? Show VLAN filter, right? There we go. VLAN map. Allow, that's the name of the VACL we created. It's filtering for VLAN 200. I think we got to do the same thing on the other side. What was the name of it though? So we got to do the same thing on the other side because we didn't do that for VLAN 100 on the other side, but they had a different name. So let's do that. Let's go to DLS1 and create the. Where my marker at? Where my marker at? Remember, we created a VACL over here, but this was VLAN 100. Well, guess what? We did all of that shit, but we didn't apply it to the actual VLAN to the VLAN. So let's go ahead and do that. Global config mode. And what was it? We need to create a VLAN filter. So VLAN filter. And then what was the name of it? We need to go back and name him and find out what his name was. Show VLAN access map. His name was VLAN-100 is what we named him. That's what we named him. And then we got to apply that to VLAN 100, right? So now VLAN filter, and then let me make sure. Y'all know I ain't got no shame in my game with the question marks here. Can't install updates. Oh, please don't turn off on me. Let me see. Okay, I'm plugged up. Good. I'm good. Good. I thought my battery was gonna be dying. I hope I ain't losing y'all. Close. Okay, we're good. Okay. The name of that ACL was VLAN 100. What we want to do, apply it to what? VLAN 100, right? That should apply that to VLAN 100. We verified it with what? Show VLAN filter. There we go. Good to go. Good to go. Okay. So, y'all got any questions so far or anything like that? Y'all let me know. Let me see here. Let's see. We're still on task 5? Are we still on task 5? I think that should be it for task 5. We applied the filter to VLAN 100 on the left-hand side, VLAN 200 on the other side. Finally, they want us to verify that we can still ping. However, you should not be able to telnet. We should not be able to telnet. Okay, can we still ping like we did on the other side, right? We was able to ping over here to over here, right? What was his IP address? ALS2. Where you at, ALS2? ALS2. His IP address was what? 200.112. Show IP. Interface brief. Pipe exclude unassigned. That is his IP address. Can he still ping? Probably yes he can, but can he telnet? Probably not. We still can. Are we blocking traffic? Oh, probably because, let me see. There's something else we needed to do here. We can still telnet. We can still telnet. There's some rules we're gonna have to fix here. What? Let's check out that IP list, access list. Let's check out our access list. We're permitting anything here for one thing, and we wanted to not. We wanted it to block everything else, right? So let's see here. What else we got? So many subtasks within a task. Verify you can still ping. Okay, and then verify your configuration, which we did with the show. We need to fix that telnet part. I'm going to go back to that and move on to task 6 because this stream has been going super long. Task 6 was configure dynamic ARP inspection for VLAN 100 so that the switch compares the ARP body for invalid and unexpected IP addresses, which includes, this is a long one. This is a really long one. Task number 6. Let's see. It's a long one right here. That's a long one. Let's see here. Task 6. It's a lot. Okay. So I'm going straight to the solution guy here, y'all, because dynamic ARP inspection, we only did one video on that. And then we got to create, now this is another new one for me, an ARP access control list. How many access control lists? You can do a MAC one. We can do an ARP one. Obviously, IP access ones. We can do a port access control list. We can do a VLAN access control list. That's 5 so far. There's so many types of access control lists here. Damn, that's a lot. That's a lot. That is a lot. This last task is a lot. I'm gonna cut this one, man. Where did you get all these labs? I got it from a book called 101 Labs CCNP. You can get a copy of it from their website, 101labs.net, or if you go to Amazon, Amazon.com, and just type in 101 Labs Cisco CCNP, and you will see a copy of the book from there. But this last task is super long, and I've been, I'm almost 2 hours and 2.5 hours past this stream here. I'm probably going to have to do this one on my own, plus this is a long one. Yeah, this is a lot right here, man. That's a lot. I'm going to cut this one short here, y'all. I'm gonna leave y'all with a cliffhanger on this one. I know y'all know I rarely do that, but for this one, this was a long one. Yeah, with VLAN, this is not VLAN. This one you're gonna do. We're gonna do dynamic access control, dynamic ARP inspection, but you got to do an access control list for that, and that I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna have to really look into this one. That is a lot that he tied into it with that one. So I'm gonna skip that last task right there. That is all I got for y'all today, man. Cause like I said, I've been 2.5 hours in this stream. I gotta work tomorrow and shit, man. Cool, appreciate it. Comes with all the sim software. No, actually it doesn't. It's just a lab guide, man. So if you are using like EvenG, you can use it with EvenG. You can use it with GNS3. I'm actually using actual hardware for this one. So I actually have 4 3750 switches. And this switch you're seeing right here is me consoled into all 4 switches right here. And this lab called for 6 tasks, right? But there were like 8 subtasks within all of them. And this last task is like pretty tough. So I need to brush up on VLAN access control lists and dynamic ARP inspection before I really tackle that last task. So maybe I'll revisit this part, or yeah, I'll probably do that and save that and then revisit it. That's probably what I'll do, but I definitely need to refresh on that. Rest easy. I'll look out for the next stream, man. Appreciate you for tuning in. We typically stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the study worksheet that I'm using right here, in case you want to like follow along. But I'm kind of like jumping around on this right here. This is what we got done so far. We did a lot of MST spanning tree stuff this week. That's why that's all green. There was one more lab that I needed to do from GNS3Vote.com, but it was starting to get monotonous, so I kind of left that alone. I'll probably come back and do that. I got a lot that I had to come back and revisit, right? But this spreadsheet has, a lot of CBT Nugget links, not links, but at least references. If you have a subscription to CBT Nuggets, it tells you which video to watch. I got some YouTube links from it. So, for example, today we did lab number 4. I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that in green because I really didn't finish it. So let's do it semi-green right there, right? And then right here we got these EtherChannel, some more EtherChannel labs that we're gonna do. I've been using Boson NetSim on my channel. Now they gifted me a promotional copy that I could use to basically demo their products and stuff like that. I've been liking it, but like I said, that is a simulator, so you're not playing with real iOS, but it at least gives you a feel for the software. So, but yeah, the good folks at NetSim gifted me a copy. When I reach, I want to at least get 5,000 subscribers by the end of summer, so that is my goal. Once I get to that, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. Like I said, they're gifting me a copy to give away as well. So not only did they give me a copy to demo their products, but also to give away. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Hit that like button. Let me give you a copy. If you want a copy of this spreadsheet right here, like I said, massive spreadsheet, has links to several YouTube videos, and also where in the book that you can get specific topics, and where in the simulator you can get specific topics. If you want to copy that, make sure you'll join my Discord server. I'm going to give you a link. This is the invite. Bloop. So make sure you'll join, and then we're going to move on to the spreadsheet. Apparently, I need to do some more VACLs, more MACLs, more PACLs, and just ACLs in general. But for now, comment, like, subscribe to the network